Today we are going to be showcasing Valheim. I've been wanting to do this one for a while, so we've got a lot of content on this baby, and let's get right into it. As I mentioned already, this week we're going to go over Valheim, a game me and my friends have gotten pretty addicted to. Just going to go over some of the ideas and strategies and my thoughts and feelings that I've conjured up. Whether you own the game already and are looking for techniques or deciding on whether or not to buy it, you should have a much better idea after watching this video, and hopefully you can be entertained at the same time. I used to play Elder Scrolls Oblivion on the Xbox, and Minecraft when I was in middle school on the PC when it was becoming popular back when it was only $5 for an account. Back in the day of minecart slingshot glitches and stuff, before all the redstone. But yeah, there's a lot of things about this game that are pretty familiar, yet also refreshingly polished and gratifying for a player. Extremely dangerous in the sense of risk compared to the kinds of risks that you have to take in previous games. One of the first things I noticed about Valheim is how familiar it should be to people who have played those games like Minecraft and more recent releases like the infamous New World. One of my favorite things about it is the Viking thematic. The developers clearly wanted people who are familiar with Norse or Viking mythology and the history of all that to feel more connected by the content. The Norsemen were primarily farmers and traders that were part-time warriors as well, which is well followed by this game concept compared to other Viking concept video games, which focus primarily on many different forms of fighting. And don't get me wrong, we love the fighting games, but nowadays people really want to go into something that's more complex. And I think that Valheim really hits that nail on the head. I did spend a great deal of time trolling around, as I always do. I like to try to break the system of any game I play. And then boom, wasabi! The idea for Troll Island was born. Now, in order to capture trolls, you have to be very, very sneaky. Boom, there goes my cage.
In this game, the risks that you take are huge risks, and there's so much to lose, especially as the game progresses and you require expensive equipment and resources just to step foot in certain territories. Losing that means trying to retrieve these items. An insanely difficult scenario because you don't have the protective equipment that you needed in the first place to even be there, which is so frustrating. So most of the time I venture out, I equip absolute bare minimum out of fear of becoming a...
You'll find a lot of scenarios in this game that gives you a bit of a nod to some of the classic games like Dark Souls or Elder Scrolls, just simply based off of the fact of having to rely on sophisticated combat to be successful in beating bosses. Now, granted, a lot of the fighting and the play style that I do is very cheese, but you'll get to know that about me over time. Now, the coolest thing about these bosses is a lot of them follow different mythology. This stag named Eikbenir, according to Old Norse text, is also known as the Pros Edda. He sat atop rooftops of Valheim. His antlers were believed to be the source of all rivers and streams, which is pretty darn cool. What makes a mountain and not a hill? A wise man once asked. The peak! You must have a peak! Always be the mountain among the hills! Peak performance! Of course, some of the best shit about this game is the expectation of power they want you to have in order to defeat these ridiculous bosses. But that's the best part. It's like Dark Souls on crack. It's the most ridiculous difficulty of a game, and it's sophisticated combat orientation that makes it fun to play. When it comes down to my overall review of Valheim, it really just reminds me of some of the gameplay of Minecraft combined with the concepts of combat such as Dark Souls or even the Elder Scrolls.
But the best part is the creativity and the variety of kind of approaches you can take on defeating these kinds of bosses, and the team orientation that's required. But also the sophistication that goes along with incorporating other types of gameplay that don't just involve this combat. Of course, you're always going to see me goofing around with NPCs, trying to manipulate some of the mechanics of the game, and honestly, just having a good time. And I hope that you guys will, be able to have a good time with this game too. And please let me know some of your opinions on this video and, basically your take on this game as well. I want to know if you guys agree with me or disagree with me. Just let me know in the comments, and don't forget to participate in the drawing. Good luck and have fun, and I will see you guys in the next video.